Casual means different things to different people. To hardcore gamers, it's a slur, but in this list, we'll aim to prove that there's nothing wrong with playing games that leave you more relaxed when you finish than when you started. These are the games that you can dip in and out of, that are gently taxing without ever being dull. Games you can play while doing other things, like reading a book, watching TV, or playing another game, which sort of defeats the point. Let's move on. Here are the 10 best casual games on PC. Even almost a decade on, there are few games that can define the joys of pick-up and playability like Plants vs Zombies. No one could have predicted just how much fun we could have with tower defence, starring happily dancing sunflowers, furious cherry bombs, long-suffering walnuts, and of course, hordes of the undead. PopCap's legendary garden party might be easy for your first few levels, but you'd be crazy, Dave, if you attempted to go further with a disrespect for lines or structure. Long since considered a dirty word, casual here just means you can jump back into your last save, even if it was 5 years ago, and you'll still be a master of advanced brain defence. Whether your plant-based arsenal includes the potato mine, the gravebuster, or just a dependable army of the standard pea shooter, your strategy is yours alone. It's time to kick some grass. If you've ever stood on a crowded underground train trying to keep your face out of someone's armpit, you've probably wondered if you could plan things so they didn't end up quite as sweaty. Well, Mini Metro is the perfect way to put your money where you're trying not to inhale mouth is. The complete opposite of trying to travel at rush hour, running your own transport network has never been this beautiful or minimalist. It starts off simple with only a handful of stations and a couple of lines. All you need to do is connect the dots and keep commuters travelling from shape to shape. The dynamic soundtrack even builds itself as you get your passengers where they need to go. So far, so lovely. Don't be fooled though, while there is a zen mode, Mini Metro gets challenging. New cities, limited tunnels, bridge building, restructuring lines to include new stations, and, oh yes, the game over inducing overcrowding. It's all here. Unlike travelling on public transport though, you'll never want to stop. Clickers, by their very definition, are odd. You know you really should stop and do something else, and yet you just keep clicking. Well, fortunately for you, or unfortunately, Adventure Capitalist knows just how much you enjoy that satisfying depression of the left mouse button, and it's the kind of compelling that feels like you might stop breathing if you step away. You start off small here, just selling lemonade at a small stand. Click and you'll squeeze lemons for juice. Click. But before long, you're buying up pizza shops, car dealerships, and donut factories, all in the quest for sweet, sweet clicks. Wait, no, cash. Ridiculously, you can even hire managers to do the clicking for you, so that you've got time to concentrate on other things, like clicking. It's ludicrous, entirely pointless, and yes, you and the game both know it. This is the very definition of, clickbait. Falling into our list like a perfectly arced ball tumbling into a moving bucket, Peggle is the ultimate in one more go-osity. Even more happy-making work from PopCap, Peggle Deluxe and its sequel Peggle Nights make hitting balls off pegs a constant delight. The steady drip of new powers and the endless satisfaction of that perfect last shot as you clear all the orange targets are just too compelling to stop. Importantly too, Peggle isn't easy. This isn't just a case of dropping a ball and hoping it will go where you want. Peggle quickly becomes the ultimate physics test, complete with inspirational words from Bjorn the Unicorn and his friends. Sure, it's older than Plants vs Zombies and most of your clothing collection, but Peggle never goes out of style. Okay, when you see Pac-Man Championship Edition DX running at full pelt, you might not think it looks that casual. In fact, you might be utterly confused as you get overwhelmed by neon lights, exploding ghosts, and juicy HD fruit. But still, it's Pac-Man. Anyone who's ever played a game understands how it works. It's practically in our DNA. And Championship Edition is a brilliant, exhilarating, and ultimately very simple update that helps you understand why people loved the first game when it was released all the way back in 1876 or whenever. There are loads of different ways to play on offer here, from simple time trials to soothing endless modes. And even when things get manic and you look like you're trapped, a handy slow-mo feature always gives you another bite of the digitised cherry. There's also the fact that it can be played with one hand, and games don't come much more casual than that. Bejeweled. lovely, sparkly, oh god, I can't stop playing it, Bejeweled. It's a simple match 3 puzzle game that has you swapping shiny gems and setting off chain reactions, a description that definitely doesn't explain why it's so deeply, horribly compelling. Maybe it's that hypnotic otherworldly soundtrack, or maybe we're just obsessed with jewels like a Middle-earth dwarf, but whatever the reason, we can't stop playing Bejeweled. As well as the standard game, there's also an endless zen mode which feels like something between a self-help tape, an ASMR video and a game. It's so relaxing in fact that PopCap considered making the mode an aid to stop people smoking, but decided not to because it would have changed the ESRB rating because of tobacco use. Yep, that's how relaxing it is. Chilled enough to actually change your habits. Sit back, uncross your hands, breathe, relax. Next, we've got Drawn the Painted Tower, because this wouldn't be a list of casual games without something by Big Fish, the tireless producers of point-and-click hidden object games. The Drawn series is an attempt to move things closer to a traditional adventure game, but it still has all the elements that make these sort of titles so satisfying. Gentle conundrums that feel pleasing to solve in an inviting, handsomely rendered fantasy world. Drawn does the thing that all the best puzzle games do of hinting at how you'll solve future riddles before you actually reach them. So when you do arrive and you work out the answer quickly, you'll feel much cleverer than you actually should. Truthfully, any of the Drawn games are worth a peek, but we've plumped for the Painted Tower because it's the first, and we respect linear time here at Logitech G.
At last you have come.
If you've ever been trapped on a damp caravan holiday or at a family Christmas, you might have ended up playing Scrabble, forming words out of little plastic letters and trying not to write rude things in front of your grandma. Well, Alpha Bear is like this, but colourful and bouncy and brilliant, and everyone is bears. Okay, it's less like the Scrabble thing than we thought, but it's still wonderful. If you like word games, this is satisfying enough already, but the fabulous, cheerful presentation means that you'll want to become a walking dictionary just to play it. Longer words mean bigger and better bears, which is obviously a really good thing, and the way it throws your suggestions back at you after each game is social media gold. If you play Alpha Bear, you will end up tweeting screenshots of your stupidest grammatical creations. It's the rules. Yep, we're going back a bit, and this is the 4th game on this list from PopCap, but there must have been something in the studio's water, because we still love Zuma. If you're potentially too young to remember, this tile matching game sees you firing coloured balls from a giant stone frog. Yeah, entertainment was different back in the early noughties, okay? It starts off slow and simple as you match colours, but Zuma quickly becomes an exercise in precision as you keep the ever-advancing coloured train of balls away from game over in the centre of the screen. Every level comes with a fresh environmental challenge too, as tunnels appear and restrict your abilities. You know, those colour matching, spinning frog abilities. Superpowers, traps and those aforementioned abilities mean that even though this isn't available in HD on PC, we'll happily put up with the pixels to make one more perfect shot to save the day and feel like a super-powered sniper frog. Whether you call him Waldo or Wally, if you spent your childhood poring over books hunting for a tiny man in a red and white striped jumper, you'll feel right at home with Hidden Folks. Because colour might make things a little too easy now that you're not under 10, this hand-drawn world embraces a monochrome existence. Like all good hidden object games, everything you'll need to hunt down is there at the bottom of the screen, but here's where the similarities stop. Everything in these incredible moving dioramas is touchable. Trees can be prodded to reveal hiding spots, tents unfurled to show who's hiding inside, crops grown at the click of a button. Thankfully, there's clues with each hidden item, as you'll definitely need them as the areas get bigger and more complex. Throw in the incredible mouth-made sounds as you touch and poke everything on screen, and Hidden Folks is a gem that's thankfully easy to find on the Steam store. So there they are, the 10 best casual games that really don't need you to justify the term casual. If we've missed your favourite go-to game, let us know in the comments below, drop us a like if you want to just get that satisfying click out of your system, and don't forget to subscribe to Logitech G for more videos just like this one.